Before we begin this episode, I just wanted to let you know about our free quiz, What's Your Relationship Archetype? All you have to do is fill out 10 simple questions and that will tell you what archetype you are, whether you are the mountain, the sun, the wind, or the ocean. And from there, you're going to find out more about your attachment style and how it impacts your relationship. So all you have to do is go into the link in the show notes to get started. Oh, and don't forget to let me know what archetype you are. All right, let's get back to the episode. Welcome to the Relationship Rehab Podcast. I'm Sammy, a certified breakup and relationship coach, attachment specialist, former love addict, and spiritual junkie. This podcast is for you, the hopeless romantic who loves to love, and a safe space for us to explore and heal our attachment trauma, broken hearts, and love addictions. Together, we are on a mission to become the love of our own lives so we can have successful, healthy, secure relationships with others. So if you're ready to create a life and love beyond your wildest desires, you're in the right place. Your journey towards becoming more secure in love and life starts now. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the podcast. And today I'm doing something a little bit different, but it is also based off of a question that I get asked a lot. And that is, what is right for me? Do I invest in therapy, counseling, and coaching? What are the differences? And why should I invest in the first place? So this is what I want to explore in this episode for those people who are thinking about investing their time, energy, and money into relationship therapy or coaching, and to start to make that decision that from an empowered place, whether this is the one that's right for you, what to look out for, and which one to choose and why. So let's dive in. So I want to start with just really looking at all the differences between therapy, counseling, and coaching. And I have done all three. So I can talk about my own personal experiences with them all as well as what clients of mine have said about the different modalities. Okay. So to kick us off, all three modalities, they all aim to support us in different ways, improving our relationships in some way or another. And what I notice a lot in my own work as well is it's very blended. I don't just do standardized coaching. There is a lot of therapeutic that is coming in to my work as well, and I recognize this, hence why I'm getting my master's in trauma informed coaching, because I do see that a lot of what I do falls into that therapy category. Even though I am not a licensed mental health therapist, I do have a lot of professional experience in the social work realm as well as my own. So that is always good to preface as well, is knowing when you decide to work with a coach or a therapist, like what are the modalities that they use? What is their method? What are their techniques? And what are their learned experiences? Maybe what are their credentials? So you can make that informed decision of whether this is the right fit for you, because there are so many incredible therapists, counselors, coaches out there. However, to balance that out, there is a lot of not so good therapists, counselors, and coaches out there as well, which can be quite daunting and overwhelming. And that's why it's really important to really, take that time to make that decision for yourself and have that trust that you are going to choose this person for whatever reasons that feel right to you. And that's why I always offer a consultation call, so we can connect, so we can see if we're a great fit. Sometimes we're not, that I can help this person, but we're just not a great energetic fit. I think it's so important, because forming that relationship, I'm always a big believer in relationships being the most healing space. If we can't form a relationship, if you don't have that relationship with your therapist or your coach, how can you push yourself to be vulnerable, to be honest, to really feel into anything that is being triggered within you if you don't feel safe with that person? I think that's the major thing here, guys, is feeling safe with your therapist, with your counselor, with your coach. So let's dive into the differences. So relationship therapy It's often focused on addressing deep emotional issues that have come from childhood, from past, that is now coming up in terms of like conflict in a relationship or that crippling anxiety. So a lot of what therapy does is focuses on the past, or if you're really struggling to cope emotionally or psychologically in life as well. So they, like I said, they typically license mental health professionals, and they use evidence-based therapeutic techniques. So they're very, how do I say this, picket fenced, I guess, to follow things a certain way. And it's interesting when I'm doing my master's, and it is a very therapeutic approach. It's very much you have to do it this way. It's not a lot of flexibility I'm finding as I'm doing this. And I find this with therapists as well, that they stick within their boundaries of what they are offering, whether this is cognitive behavioral therapy or other psychodynamic approaches. So they're very much there to take you on a journey back into your past, to heal those wounds, to heal any issues that have come up in the childhood, any PTSD that you might be dealing with that has come from that. And like I said, often or not, we dip our toes into that pool in my own work as well. So therapy can often be long term depending on the severity of the issues, but it can also be ad hoc and short term as well. And I think it's worth noting and prefacing that this is completely my own personal opinion and based off of my own experience and those of clients who have chosen coaching over therapy, knowing that a lot of what I do is very therapeutic as well, is that I find therapy to be, it's a journey. It's quite difficult to really go back into the past in such a way, and very healing for some as well. But sometimes I've noticed clients saying that I just feel like I'm reliving my past and just re-traumatizing myself all over again. And that is the danger of if you choose a therapist that cannot hold that space for you to be able to, if you are to be re-traumatized. I hear this a lot. That my therapist took me there. I felt re-traumatized, and they're like, oh, time's up. See you next week. And now they're left with all these open boxes and wounds, and it's just it's just a lot to deal with. And that's why it's so important to choose the right therapist for you. Another issue that I'm finding, especially in a country like the UK, is that therapists are overworked. Like, they're amazing individuals and the work they do is amazing, but they're overworked. They're seeing so many people every day. And I've had clients say, like, I just felt like a number. I didn't feel like I was being listened to. I didn't feel like I was being understood. I felt quite judged, some of the things they said. So it's something to take into consideration as well, like when we're choosing to go through the NHS as we have in the UK, or through insurance-based therapists. They can be so amazing, but they can be overworked and stressed out and burnt out as well. And I remember coming across this quote in the book of The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and he said, we don't need to dive deep in the past for you to become free of it. We can deal with the past on the level of the present as it manifests in thoughts, emotions, and reactions. And that really stayed with me because I felt like that was my own experience. It was really great. I did have a really great therapist. However, I didn't feel like I was being moved forward. It was just like, sometimes I would come away from sessions and feel like we're going round and round in circles. And maybe I needed to be going around and round in circles, but I guess, again, having that discernment of, am I ready to move forward now? Am I ready to move out of therapy and maybe into more of a coaching space? Because I'm ready to move forward. And that's very much what coaching is. But before we get into coaching, I don't want to leave out counselling. So counselling is very much generally focused on providing support and guidance, dealing with specific issues in the present moment. So this might be more situational, less severe, that would be typically addressed in therapy. So you see a lot of people going into counselling for specific reasons, like marriage counselling, right, to help them with that transition into marriage or having their first child. So it's very situational and specific. And I went to counselling to help me go through grief. I don't want to get into it right now, but I had to go through something that was quite painful. And I know I didn't need a whole therapy thing. I just needed someone to be with me in that present moment to navigate emotions and to move through the grief. And that's what counselling is really great to do. It can help with any transitions. It's usually shorter term in that way. So if we see therapy is very much more in the past, I would say counselling is very much in the present. Relationship coaching or standard coaching, like I said, mine is quite different in comparison. And I know a lot of coaches are blending and blurring the boundaries as well. And I hope that they are getting the right support and qualifications and certifications to be able to do that. But the thing with the coaching industry is that it's not regulated. Anybody can call themselves a coach these days. And that's why it's very important to do your research and to connect with that person and to trust that person and to know that they have something that has been tried and tested, and other people have been able to get results from the work that they do. So know that anybody can call them a coach these days, which is wonderful, because I really do believe that there's a lot of people out there that can help and support others in a coaching capacity. And maybe they hold themselves back because they feel like they need to have all the certificates under the sun in order to start. So in one way, it's really, really great that we are able to step into this industry in that way. So typically coaching, it's orientated towards goal setting and moving you forward and achieving something, and within the context of relationships, right? So what I see a lot in my own coaching is I get into that coaching role when we start to embody that secure self. So we look at what that looks like for you, and we start to put those things in place so you can learn skills. It's all about goal setting, action plans, skills training, keeping you accountable, motivating you, providing strategies for improvement, as well as being able to wrap that all up with anything that comes up to the surface from the past as well. So it's there to help you achieve specific relationship goals, whether it's improved communication, enhancing intimacy, making decisions about the future of the relationship, things like that. Very much future focused. But it is all about enhancing your quality of life and relationships. And coaching does tend to also be shorter term. You have your specific goals. And I have this as well within my programs. We have our goals, we have our intentions, and we have a tracker as well, because it is my intention to move you forward and to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And we are able to then track your progress. Therapy doesn't really have that. It's very much like, it's very flexible in that way within the boundaries, that it doesn't have specific goals and intentions and tracking modalities to be able to keep you focused and motivated. It's all about exploring whatever comes up in the moment. So coaching can be typically less formal in that way. It can I get a lot of clients when they say how much they love coaching as opposed to therapy, is because they feel like they're with a friend. They feel like they're with a big sister. They feel like they're with a mother, someone who makes them feel so safe, but it's also a relationship that's being formed. I can't tell you how many times I have reached the end of a coaching program with my clients and we're crying because what we have been through together has been so special and so beautiful and so healing for both of us, really. And we formed a connection and a relationship in that way that you wouldn't really get with a therapist. Like I said, you might. This is not like a black and white boxing people in type of thing, but it's kind of what the standard is. So to summarize that, then, their therapy, like I said, is very much focused on the past, addressing deeper, long-standing emotional issues. Counselling is very much in the present, focusing on more immediate relationship challenges, being a very reactive approach. And then coaching is very orientated towards achieving them specific future goals. I feel like mine is a blend of all three, if I'm honest. So now I want to talk about another thing that a lot of people battle with internally when they are researching therapy, counseling, coaching is why should I invest in this? And it may be pretty obvious at the time I've got a lot of clients of mine come through the coaching program after a breakup. So the relationship is broken down. They're now realizing that there's a lot of work that still needs to be done within themselves as an individual. The reason can be pretty obvious in that way, or maybe they're in a new relationship. I'm getting a lot of anxiety. I'm afraid of sabotaging it. I don't want to fall back into old patterns. It can be very obvious. But if you're like, I feel like I need it, but I don't know if I can make that leap of faith. And what I will always say is the best investment you can make in your life is the investment in yourself. And a lot of people start to devalue investing in something like relationship coaching or mental health coaching or emotional coaching or even spiritual coaching, because there's like not those tangible results, if you will, that come out of it, as opposed to business or health coaching where you can see the results. So it's a lot more complex in that way, and that's why this work is even more important, if I'm honest, because in order to thrive in your business, in order to thrive in your fitness journey, we need to be able to sit with your mental health, your emotional health, your relationships that have such an impact on your life as a whole. So there is a lot of that as well, where people are like, I don't know if it's worth it. A lot of my clients will honestly say, I battled with those thoughts before I chose to come into the coaching, or maybe they didn't, and they're like, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if I can make a difference. I don't know if I will be able to see any transformations. And again, do your research, see what their work has done for their past clients, what their transformation has been like. And that's exactly what it is. It is a transformation, regardless of what you choose. Therapy, coaching, you will go through a transformation, especially if you choose private, because that is the biggest way to have a full-blown transformation in your life. And when, whether you're going through something specific or just investing it because you want to be able to improve your life overall, you will have that if you choose the right person. That improved quality of life, you'll have the skills, the tools, the education, the knowledge, the capacity, the experience to be able to become someone not different, but your higher self in your life. And that person has walked the walk, especially coaches, right? That's why we become coaches. We have been through what you're going through, and we have walked the walk, and we want to walk beside you in order for you to walk that walk, because we know what's on the other end and we know how beautiful that is. We wouldn't be coaches otherwise if it wasn't so incredible at the other end of the tunnel. And we really want to help you get there as well. So I always say someone who has already invested in themselves in some way will know the value of it. And they will know that by investing in themselves, they're investing in, it's such a ripple effect. Such a ripple effect. I could only invest in business coaching, but I would only get so far with all the strategies and business stuff. I needed to do healing work. And there's two things that really bring up a lot to the surface, and that is business and relationships. Business and relationships will bring up all those core wounds, those limiting beliefs, those mindset errors, whatever you call them. They will all come up to the surface. So these two things can be the biggest vehicles for growth. So lastly, I just wanted to touch upon all the different types of coaching. If that's what you're considering, like, okay, I know I want to go down the coaching path, because therapy and counseling is very self-explanatory. It's very one-on-one, private, me and you against the world, let's go. However, coaching, there's all different types of coaching that you can choose. And the first one, of course, is the private coaching, the one that I personally love to invest a lot of my energy in, because it's such a beautiful experience to be with that one person and to witness their transformation right there and then beside me. So you get to have that private one-on-one coaching experience. And the benefits of going private is that it's a very specific, personalized, tailored approach, and you receive undivided attention from your therapist or coach. And the program is not a structured one. It goes at your own pace. It's very flexible in that way, and it's very specific to what you're going through and your own issues. But the cons is there's no community element. And for me, that is something that is quite significant in healing. Of course, when there's one-on-one, there's so much that can happen. But when you come together as a community, it's just a different way of healing, I guess. And that's why it's so important to have such a solid support system around you, and your coach can be that person for you. So if you're someone who really thrives in a community aspect and you love to share your journey and your experiences with others, you might get a little bit frustrated with one-on-one coaching because it's just me and you. So for someone who wants a more hands-on, personalized approach, more private approach, one-on-one is great. But if you're someone who loves community, loves people, loves sharing, group coaching is something that could probably be a better option for you. And this is when it could be a small group of people, it can be a larger group of people. You come together to learn and grow together, with the coach being the leader, being the guide. And that's a massive pro, right? To be able to go on this journey with other people, and you form those connections and those bonds and those relationships with those women, men, people. And that's why a lot of people go on. I know for me, when I was healing from my breakup, I wanted to go on an organized trip. I needed to be around people. I wanted to journey with them and grow with them and experience this chapter in my life with them. And you learn from others as well as they're sharing their experiences and stories. You learn that, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one going through this. I'm not alone in this world. There's people out there that is feeling and thinking and doing exactly the same as I. And it just does so much in regards to eliminating shame. We all carry shame for the things that we've done and the way that we feel and think. And when someone says what we're thinking and feeling, that shame just goes away. It disappears, and you're able to be vulnerable, and you're able to feel safe being vulnerable with people who can see, hear, and understand you. Oh, so healing. However, what's usually happened in group coaching is there is a specific structured program. For some people, they want that. They love that. I want to follow something. I want like a structure, A to B. I know I'm going to get from here to here, and this is the journey. But it can be quite limiting. It's not flexible. You're following a certain course or curriculum in some way. And also, a thing that I notice in my group program is my audience is very international, which is beautiful. We all learn from each other's cultures. But it's the logistics sometimes that get in the way, where not everybody can make the calls and not everybody can dedicate that time. And then you lose it. Rather than one-on-one, you can just reschedule and not lose that session. But in group coaching, that is one of the cons. If you can't make it, you have to watch it on replay, for example. And then, so that's kind of private and group coaching. And then the last one is courses, memberships that we see a lot in the coaching industry now as well. And I have my own membership as well. So I can only speak to what I have done with my own, but what I see with coaches and memberships is a platform. It's a portal that is primarily focused on giving you the tools and the resources and the education that you need in order to complement a journey that you might be on by yourself. So if you're doing this DIY style and you just need something to complement that, you can plug into a membership or buy a course to help you on your journey. So it's not so much the vehicle itself, it's the features. So you are the vehicle, you are creating the vehicle for yourself, but you're buying add-ons to be able to support you on your journey. And that's very much what a membership and a course should be looked at, not a program that is the vehicle to get you from A to B. So my membership is just that. It is guidance in the form of masterclasses. It has resources. It has tools. We meet together once a month, and it's very much focused on that community and supporting one another on our own individual journeys. And this is a very great option for those who are on a budget as well. It's a monthly subscription, or course is a one-time payment, and it can be very good for those who are just at a space in their life where they need to be a little bit more conscious of their finances. So there's no specific goal or pathway or program. Like I said, it's more of an ongoing approach. It's more of a support to be able to develop this into a lifestyle. A lot of my coaches come out of a one-on-one or group program, and then they go into the membership in order to sustain, in order to implement, in order to be supported on their ongoing journey. So that's it, guys. I hope that has given you some insight into the different options that you have out there and has helped you to start to formulate an empowered decision for yourself as to where you want to go on your journey and what is best for you. If you want to talk it through, I'm always open. My DMs are open for you. If you want to ask a question or be like, can I, have a chat with you on a consultation call to see whether I should be going down the therapy route or the coaching route? I will always guide you and offer suggestions in that way as well, because to support me as well, like if I really believe that you need therapy, I'm not going to say that or welcome you into a coaching program if I really believe that you need therapy. So if you want to be able to have a more personalized conversation with myself, I'm always open to having that. But like I said, I hope that this has really helped you to make that decision for yourself. And an investment in yourself is always a great investment, even if you in the past have chosen someone who has not gotten you the results that you've wanted. And we see this a lot as well. People have been burnt in the past. They've gone to therapy or coaching, and that person has not supported them in the way that they wanted to be supported. That in and of itself is an opportunity for growth as well. We're always learning about ourselves in these experiences. And as long as you go into it with that mindset, and again, taking that empowered responsibility for your own journey, for your own growth, and seeing these people as not these people to come in and fix you, but they are here to support you, to guide you, to show you the way, but it's up to you to walk the path. They can't carry you. You have to carry yourself. We can only hold your hand and give you the directions. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm sending you so much love, and I hope that this has been helpful. Let me know. Rate and review the podcast. As always, I really appreciate you for doing that. And if you feel like you need to share this with someone who is also battling with this question, please do. Until next time, my loves. Thank you so much for joining me on the Relationship Rehab podcast. I hope that this episode has supported you in healing, growing, and evolving out of insecure attachment and unhealthy relationship patterns and into safe, authentic love with yourself and others. If you enjoyed the episode, it would mean the absolute world to me if you would just take a second to rate and review this podcast. Every rating and review from you guys counts, as it really helps this podcast to grow so it can reach more people who need to hear this content. And don't forget to connect with me on social media. Take a screenshot of this podcast episode, share it on your IG stories, and tag me at the.relationship.rehab with your biggest takeaway from the episode. I really do love reading them. See you back here next week for another episode on the Relationship Rehab podcast.